you grew up in this league, okay? Some of you from the time you were 6 years old, okay? You know what this league is about. It is a Christian league. Number one, check your Eagles at the door. If you haven't done it, go back to that door, step out, and just check it. Leave it there, okay? Because it doesn't belong in the gym. It never did while you were playing in our league. You understand? And the reason you got MVP, remember, the reason you got it was because you were outstanding players on and off the field. We expect no less. No less. You understand what I'm saying? We want this to be an annual event. We want you guys to come back. We want you guys to make this real. You understand? Make it real. Make it happen because there are eyes on you. Believe it or not, these little kids that are out there watching you guys, they're looking at you. You're their mentors. You're their leaders. Okay? Remember that. Please, remember that. We want you guys to come back. All right? We'll make this, you know, you guys are going to be crawling on the floor playing the game one day. All right? I don't care. We might have to separate you guys, you know, the faster ones over the older ones, but we'll do it. You understand? Because we're going to be around another 14 years. I guarantee you that. All right? As long as I'm around, there will be another 14 years. And we'll bring you back. Okay?
You know, the barrio, La Liga del Barrio, really began 14 years ago, 15 years ago, because it took us like a year to really begin planning it and so on. So we've been playing, the kids have been playing, I think, for 14 years. During that time, Pat Croce owned the Sixers. And I'm in my office, and it was the week after the Puerto Rican Day Parade. And I get a phone call from Aunt Sharon, who passed away, God bless her soul, said, "Boss man, Pat Croce's on the phone." I said, "Pat Croce, the owner of the Sixers?" I said, "Wow." I was watching the Puerto Rican Day Parade this Sunday, and I saw all these thousands and thousands and thousands of Puerto Rican flags and people and so on, and this huge parade and so on. And he said, "I didn't know there were so many of you guys here." He says, "We gotta get into basketball." I said, "Well, look, we don't have a real basketball league in the barrio."
There was nothing available for them. The only thing that was available was basically the streets and kids being, you know, swayed by other kids selling drugs in the corner. That was the reality. And still to today, it exists. And in the same neighborhood that we run our leagues out of. They've been out there occupied by other things they shouldn't be occupied by, which is the drugs, you know, the gangs. Oh yeah. I remember it like it was yesterday. First of all, I remember when he came into the office. I was working with him at the time in City Council, and he says, "Pat Croce wants a Latino basketball league for our kids." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" He says, "And I want you to help this make this work." And I said, "Sure, no problem. I can do that." And he says, "The first thing I need you to do," and he was talking to me and Israel Colon, who was the chief of staff at the time, and he says, "Let's get a group of community people, some good people, and sit them down and let's talk about how we're going to make this work."
So Ray was by legislative aid, and Izzy and Madeline Perez, fantastic, one of the brightest educators in the country, and she came and said, "Fine, let's do it, but they have to be educational. The league has to push education."
myself, Angel, and Marilyn, and we walked over to the table to say, hey, listen, we want you guys to help us out, create a league for kids. And Johnny and Israel, the first words out of their mouths was, whatever league we help you create has to be Christian based. And that means prayers before every game, like we do, and you know, and teaching folks about God.
And then Johnny Santiago, which Ray said, I got this guy, Johnny Santiago, you know, he sat down and he says, we got to have a, and now I'm not really religious, right? So they had to sell me on all of this stuff, and said we have to have a sort of prayer session at the beginning of games and so on, and I sort of said, well, you know, I don't know.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for many things. Thank you for waking us up to be here to fellowship in your name. We're grateful. We ask you, merciful Lord, to bless everyone who's here to witness what you put together. Guide these young men safely as they hit school, their neighborhoods.
I grew up as a Christian, like ever since I was born. So I like how I could play my favorite sport and I can have that Christian background on the same time. So it's been fun.
It's very encouraging to them that it's Christian based. It teaches them the Christian love for one another, and that's what I bring.
And I live by faith, so you know what I mean. It was definitely. I mean, at that time I didn't know nothing about Christianity, but as I did get older and I did come to Christianity, it reminded me so much. You know what I mean, about humbleness and just how the league was ran. It was never a fight, and I don't even think it was never one fight out of the 5 years I was in the league.
Oh, I'm Christian, man. So my dad's a pastor, so you know what I mean. Grew up with all that, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, not that crazy, like, you know what I'm saying? You know, I love that the fact that, you know, they don't care who's out there. It shows me that there's still people that actually pray out here, man. Like, actually cares, because this world is just a crazy place, dude. Like, it's crazy out here.
Yeah, quite honestly, when we started the league, I hadn't gone to church as often as I should have. So for me in the beginning, it was a side of it that I thought to myself, wow, this is nice. Maybe I can reconnect with God and you know, have it more in my life than I have, you know, these past, I don't know, few years. So it's impacted me personally, because I've evolved into the type of person now that will lead the prayers before the games. You wouldn't have found that from me years ago.
And man, let me tell you something. When we opened up the league, we had, I think, close to over 400 kids. You know, and it was incredible.
It's a 28.5. We have a 28.5.
I mean, and then you saw the parents, you know, because they had to be the parents. If you could not have a league like this and not get the parents involved, and then, you know, you would see the stands. I mean, the 6-year-old would play and the stands would be full of parents. We were only identified with drugs and drug dealing and gangs and this and all of a sudden to have something in which kids from 6 on up to 17, also high school age and so on, were playing in a great environment, and the parents were there.
Parent participation was crazy. I mean, like, you go into a game and the stands are full of parents, which most leagues can't claim.
I mean, some of our parents don't even have kids to play in this league anymore, and they're still part of it. They're still coaching.
I mean, I'm a full-time working parent that has not just her, but I have 2 other daughters involved in sports, and I just think as a parent, it doesn't take much. It's just a matter of being there.
They're passionate about getting the children involved, teaching them not just a skill, but responsibility.
The organization, I love all the coaches. Ray and his family did a tremendous job with these kids for years. So the league itself is the best thing for these kids. So I really love this league.
And the Sixers have been incredible throughout.
Yes, the 76ers have been supporting us for 14 nice long years.
One of my first experiences as an intern with the Sixers was participating in the Liga del Barrio tip-off event.
They do this every year. They come out at the beginning of the year. They have an opening ceremony for us. They bring some of their players. They've given us tickets for a lot of our kids to even attend the games. They've rewarded Coach of the Year. They've rewarded our kids, MVPs. They've done a lot.
What do you think about the experience out there today?
It's a good experience. I get to play on the 76ers court. It's once in a lifetime. Not a lot of kids can see that.
What word to describe the Liga del Barrio?
Amazing.
Every week we have all these different programs, but at the end of the day, it's like, what impact are you really having? So Sixers Strong is all about strong kids and strong community. We want to really, create programs so that the community knows that the Sixers really do care. We're all about changing the lives of kids.
For one kid that we can save, that's one less kid that was pulled into that system of just, chaos and just tragedy.
We have over 400 kids from 6 that we're going to be keeping out of the corners. Out of the gang aspect, that we're bringing in and they're meeting and they're talking and the parents are coming in. What greater investment is there?
The coaching staff is good. No fights or nothing. It's a good league.
Excellent for kids.
It will be amazing.
If I get good grades, then I get to keep on going out and play.
What happens if you get bad grades?
Then you have to sit out for a few minutes.
Because I like basketball because I can shoot it around.
Leave my neighborhood with all the bad things in and come there every Saturday. Awesome. Great. Fun. It's fun. I get to just hang out with my friends and also
practice on my basketball skills. I like football better than basketball now. Since I started learning how to play, I like basketball now.
Growing up, I came from a single parent home. My mother didn't speak English. I didn't have this opportunity. This is, I don't know. I mean, it's just, it makes me feel that some of these kids don't have, you gotta stop because now I'm getting emotional.
I think this is probably the most satisfying thing that I could point to and say, you know, I started that. My office, my people started that. We put a team together, and it has proven and stood the test of time.
He spoke a lot to me. He said a lot of good things to me. And it made me think, It made me think about bad decisions I was going to do. I thought what he said at the halftime, I respected that. He's a good guy. I appreciate that.